Welcome everybody to the automation zone. In today's session we shall be learning two important techniques, which is implicit and explicit wait. These are used to perform synchronizations within Selenium. Now in order to explain this, we shall be using a website. The link of this I shall be providing in the description below. Now this website has got 4 buttons. The very first button, when you click, a message is displayed immediately. Whereas the other two, the message is displayed with small delay, and this one with a very huge delay. Whereas for the very last button, this is going to enable this button right here, which is currently disabled. So let me click this, and as you can see, the button will be enabled in some time. Right now it's enabled. If I click this, it is then that the message is displayed. We shall try to automate this website, and we shall see what challenges we face and how to overcome these challenges with the help of these two techniques. Now for a sample code, I'm just going ahead and opening the website. This is the path of the website, and I'm maximizing the window and I'm navigating to the URL. That is all. So let's begin. So let us just jump into the code now. So what we'll do here is, on our web page, we are going to try to click on the button, and then once the message is seen, we are trying to click on the message as well. So we require two XPaths. The first one is for the button, this one right here, which has got the text show message. Let me copy that, and it has got the tag button. So I think you all know the drill by now. It's driver.findElement By.xpath. Type in the XPath, which is button having the text equal to the one that we have copied, dot click. So once that is done, the message is going to be displayed, and we are going to click on that message as well. So copy this line of code again, but the XPath is going to be that of the message, which is this right here. Also, this element right here has got the tag P, which stands for paragraph. So it's not button, but it is P. So far so good. Let me go ahead and run this. I clicked on the button, and then I clicked on the message. Now the only way to find this is by looking at the output. As you can see, the output does not have any kind of error. Now what do you think is going to happen when I click on this? So it'll try to click on this, and then it is going to try to click on the message, but there is no message. The message comes after some time. So what Selenium is going to do is it's going to throw you an error. It can be any error, but basically it's going to throw you an error that there is no element on the web page. So what we'll do is, let's perform the exact same steps on this button right here with this message as well. So button number 2, first let me copy this. Perfect. And let me copy the text of the button. Let me minimize this, and let me copy the text of the message. Perfect. Now let me run this, and let's see. So for the first button and for the first message, it will work perfectly fine. I clicked on the second button, but there is no message. If I go and look at the output, you will see there is a huge exception, and that exception is on this line right here, which is clicking on the message because it did not find the message. And the exception is, element is not interactable. Yeah, of course, because either the element was hidden or it was not active or something or the other. So what we'll do here is, as I said before, Selenium is going to try to perform the action immediately, right? We are going to tell Selenium that, hey, don't perform any action immediately. Keep trying to perform the same action for a certain amount of time before going ahead and throwing an exception. Let's assume that that's 5 seconds. So in order to set this, we are going to type driver.manage timeouts implicitWait. There are two values over here, so let's say 5. The second parameter is going to be TimeUnit.SECONDS. You can also give anything else, for example .minutes or .days, whatever, but that's too far-fetched. Try to keep it something within seconds. Now what is this going to do? This line basically states that going ahead from this line number 27, all the elements which fall under driver, okay, because this is a driver.manage, right? So going forward from this line onwards, everything that falls under driver or all web elements that fall under driver are not going to throw an exception immediately. They are going to at least wait for 5 seconds, or basically they are going to be tried continuously for 5 seconds, and if the exception keeps happening even after 5 seconds, then it will go and throw the error. So in our case, it is going to, let me refresh this. So in our case, it's going to click on this button, click on the message not present, click again, not present, click again, yes, it's present. 5 seconds is not over, no exception. So let us try again with this piece of code. The other thing which is important to note is, yes, you can change it again. So if I were to copy this piece of code and type it again, maybe at line number 36, and change it to maybe 10, and this basically means is 5 second implicit wait is valid from line number 27 till line number 34, and from line number 36 onwards I have changed it to 10 seconds. Always try to keep the implicit wait something less, like maybe 2 seconds to 5 seconds. Won't exceed that. I'll explain to you why further on. So let us run this piece of code now. Okay, first one and the second, and if you look at the output, there is no error. So this thing worked. Okay, so far so good. Let's come with the issue in this piece of code as well. Now for the third button, the message with a very huge delay, if I click on this button, it takes 10 seconds or 20 seconds for the matter for the message to be displayed right here. Let's wait for some more time, and here we got the message. Now in order to incorporate both of this is 3 seconds, this is 10 seconds, what I would do here is I would go all the way here and I would change the implicit wait from 5 to maybe 10, or on the safe side I would keep it 20. And if I perform this, it's going to work, right? Yeah, of course it's going to work. But this comes with major issues, and this is going to make your code very sluggish, and it is going to increase your execution time. It should not be done, and let me explain to you why, and after that we will learn how to handle this with the help of your explicit waits. So let us see this with the help of an example. Let's assume that you are in your office and you have a regression suite of 1000 test cases. You have also gone ahead and set the implicit wait to 20 seconds. Just assume that 300 test cases have failed in your first run. 300 is still less, it can be even more, but let's assume that it's 300 test cases have failed. Now, no test case is going to fail before 20 seconds, right? Because as I said, in the implicit wait, the that piece of code is going to be tried again and again and again for a minimum of 20 seconds before throwing an exception. So per test case, add a minimum 20 seconds for it to fail. Say for 300 test cases, so 300 times 20 seconds, and that is going to give you approximately 100 minutes of time wasted. So it took 100 minutes is just to make sure, this is just wasted time to show that 300 test cases have failed. That's it. Now if you had set the implicit wait to maybe 5 seconds, then that would mean 300 test cases which are failed will be shown, these failures will be shown in 5 seconds each, which is equal to 25 minutes. So you have saved approximately 75 minutes or 1 hour approx just by setting your implicit wait less. This 1 hour save time could then be used to analyze your reports, fix certain issues, and rerun your suite all over again. And that's why I said that always try to keep your implicit wait as low as possible, because it does stabilize your test suite. But what's the point? If there's a failure, everything fails. You rather have the time in analyzing the issues rather than wasting time in just getting your failed reports. So let us go ahead and write the code for this. First thing, we are going to keep our implicit wait time back from 20 to 5 seconds. So that's done. Then we'll go ahead and write our code again, or copy the 2 lines of code again for our third button. Let us go back and create the XPath for the third button. The XPath is this. So let me change this to show message with huge delay, as well as the XPath of the message as well, which is this thing right here. Let me spy this. Okay, much better. Now till this element it's fine. However, the part of the message which we have to click, because the message comes after a huge delay, this message needs to be given an explicit wait, or this has to wait explicitly for a certain amount of time. Implicit wait for everything else, for this explicit wait. That's why it's called explicit wait. So in order to perform your explicit wait, you have to go ahead and create an object of WebDriverWait. So come here and let me go ahead and type here first explicit wait. So create an object of your WebDriverWait. So WebDriverWait, and give an object name of your choice, like wait. I usually try to give wait is equal to new WebDriverWait. Perfect. I don't know why it did not come automatically. Okay, so your WebDriverWait over here accepts 2 parameters. Okay, the constructor accepts 2 parameters. The first one is your driver. Okay, the same driver right here, and the second one is your time in seconds. So let me go ahead and type here 20 seconds. Now you can see this this line over here. This basically means it's deprecated because from a few months ago there was a release which basically stated just do not give integers but also specify the time units as mentioned here. So the time unit can be given by using the class duration. So duration dot, and then duration of what? Duration of seconds, and then you given your time. So duration of seconds 20 seconds. This is the correct way of using the WebDriverWait after the new version of Selenium which has been released recently. So this is done. Now In order to use this WebDriverWait for this element, we are going to perform the following syntax. So use the object wait dot wait what? Wait until. So wait until. Selenium has got certain expected conditions. So use the expected conditions class. So expected conditions. Here we go. Dot. And you have a lot of expected conditions. I mean, I cannot go through each and every one of them, but go ahead and have a look of it. Have a look by yourselves. So it contains basically expected till alert is present, expected till element is visible, expected till number of elements, or expected to something is clickable, things like that. So in this case, what we want the element to be visible, right? So dot visibility of element, correct? So visibility of element located by. By basically means what? Your locator. Your locator is given right here. So I'll just go ahead and copy this locator and paste the locator right here. It's going too long, right? Let me go ahead and type and enter here so it's much more easier to read. There we go. Let me remove this piece of code because it's not required. So wait until expected conditions. There are many expected conditions. We want to keep waiting until it's visible. So visibility of all elements, or not all elements, it should be visibility of element, that's it. Visibility of element located by XPath, and then I gave the XPath. After typing all this, I can go ahead and type dot click. That's it. Now if I run the code, only this piece of code is going to wait for 20 seconds. The rest, everything is going to wait for 5 seconds. Now let me run this and let's have a look. Okay, let me see if there are any errors. As you can see, there are no errors. The code worked perfectly fine. Okay, so the last thing about explicit wait is something different. So here we have a button, right? If I click on this button, this other button over here becomes enabled. However, if you can see, it's visible but not enabled, right? Why I'm mentioning this? Let me just go ahead and get the XPath for this pretty quick. Let me repaste this piece of code here. Let me delete everything else because I don't think I require any of this right now. Perfect. Let me just go ahead and click that button right here. So I'm clicking on this button and then I'll try to click on this button as well. Simple. And this has got the text as button, and I guess this is also button. Perfect. So far so good. And here I am doing implicit wait until the visibility of the element. So what's going to happen here? Let me go ahead and save this and let me run this now. So here we go. Okay, but there is no message present here. Usually when I click on this button, a message is coming. So why is there no message? So what's happening here, guys, is the code is, or Selenium is clicking on the button and it's visible, right? It's clicking on this. Because it's visible, we have not given the right criteria. The criteria should not be for visibility, but the criteria should be for maybe till the element is enabled or till the element is clickable, stuff like this. So if I were to change this condition to clickable, like element to be clickable. Perfect. Then this code would work. Now let me run this piece of code and see what happens. So here we go. The first button is clicked and then the next button is clicked. Here we go, and I can see the message here perfectly well. So whenever you are going ahead and using your explicit wait, make sure that you always select the right condition as well. If you select the wrong condition and you go ahead, you might think it's going to work, but it might not. So depending on what you want, choose the right condition. So I was thinking of talking even about your fluent wait, but I think that we are going over time, so I will be taking that up in the next session. If you like my tutorial so far, do show your support by subscribing to my channel and liking and sharing my videos. Thank you guys. See you next time.